We had a really big breakdown after I turned 35 and my whole mindset.
Oh, yeah, he completely
shifted.
changed. And I was like, what is going on? Whoa, you're different.
I was a micromanager of people's feelings because that was efficient in my brain to get where I needed to be. That's the choicest way of saying I manipulated people.
So what he would do is he would omit things, not necessarily lie, but not tell the whole story. Because he's like, well, if I tell you that I'm going to sleep with this person, then you're going to be upset. And it's I would rather, and I told him this.
It was bad.
I would rather you tell me something that's going to upset me. Let me feel my feelings, and then we're fine. We can talk it out. I'm not going to not let you do the thing.
And then,
but, I need my space to feel it.
Yeah. And shortly after my 35th birthday, I came clean about anything I could think of.
Oh my gosh, it was such a harrowing summer, I'll tell you what.
Welcome to Normalizing Non-Monogamy, the podcast where we interview incredible people from all over the world to hear their personal journeys of self-discovery through the lenses of love, sex, and relationships.
Our mission is to show people that they're not alone and to inspire them to embrace their true selves so that together we can open minds and live authentically without shame.
We believe everyone's story is powerful and beautiful, yet it's important to remember that everyone does life a little bit differently and that the views and opinions expressed by our guests do not necessarily reflect our own.
Additionally, we aren't doctors. Please consult a medical professional for anything regarding your health that you might learn about on the show. Enjoy!
Welcome to episode 412. We're Finn and Emma, and we're super excited for today's amazing conversation with Rowan and Aeryn.
You know, we're not the only ones who are excited.
No, they are also very excited.
So excited, in fact, that actually, we often at the end of these episodes say, invite people back on. And this was no exception, but it was funny because we actually got an email from them a couple weeks ago saying, hey, do we have to wait for this to come out before we can record an update? Because we've already got tons to share and we can't wait to share and we had so much fun. So,
which we love the excitement.
Yeah. So you'll hear the excitement today. We're excited. They're excited. And this is just a lovely conversation.
Rowan and Aeryn have been together for about 10 years and exploring non-monogamy throughout their entire relationship. You'll want to buckle up for this one. They cover a lot of ground in this heartfelt sharing of their journey. And we even get a shout out from one of their partners partway through the episode.
Yes, their partner Jess is in the background and makes a few cameos. You might also hear a little bit of background noise periodically because, as you'll hear, they got surprised with having to care for a family member's kiddo at the last minute. So Jess is kind of in the background wrangling the kiddo. So that's what you'll hear. But this definitely doesn't take away from the conversation at all, which is an incredible story full of so much love all around and what really feels like unconditional love as Rowan, Aeryn, and Jess figure out their relationships, gender, sexuality, and life.
Also, a quick note that as you'll see here in the episode, Aeryn talks about their singing and makeup and karaoke videos, and we put links to all of that in the show notes. So
photos of the makeup, the curvy, all the stuff. It's incredible.
Super cool.
So please check that out. Check out the links to his singing or their singing. Well, you'll hear it. You can use any pronouns you want.
Yes.
All right. So with that...
Thank you so much, Aeryn and Rowan. We're so excited to get this episode out there.
And Jess.
Yes, of course. And with that, for anyone who's a premium subscriber, we're going to jump right into the interview now. And for anyone else, we're going to go through a few announcements. First up, if you're not familiar with the premium subscription, it's a way to skip these announcements up front, but don't worry, we still share important dates of upcoming events in the outro, so you won't miss out on those. To sign up for the premium subscription, go over to our website, normalizingnonmonogamy.com, scroll down on the homepage, and you can sign up right there for $4 a month.
And after that, scroll back up to the top and click on the community tab where you can learn all about our virtual community, or our community, generically speaking. It's not just virtual, full of over 300 people from around the world who socialize and support one another every single day. We host our community on a platform called Mighty Networks. We host monthly community support Zoom calls, monthly virtual workshops, and we do have in-person events as well, actually.
Yes, our next in-person retreat is actually this coming weekend, October 3rd to the 5th, 2025, in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's not too late to join us if you're listening to this on the day it comes out, October 1st.
Or maybe the next day.
Or the 2nd. But you can still go to our website, click on the community tab, and you can find out more about the retreats and come join us.
And so you get all of this for less than $8 a month. We'd love to have you come join us. and we'll see you in there.
Also, our next monthly workshop we have coming up is going to be on October 16th with Nixie Knock, who's actually going to be on the spoiler alert on the podcast next week.
Spoiler alert.
But the workshop will be on personal agency. We're really excited about it. Again, you can find out more over on our website by clicking on the community tab.
Yeah, and just to be clear, these monthly workshops are free for all of our community members. So please, again, check it out. Join the community. We'd love to see you in there.
Also, while you're over on our website, go over to the resources tab and you can click on the link for stdcheck.com. Using that link saves you $10, making a 10-panel test only $129, and you support the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you in advance for using that link. STD Check is our favorite way to get tested for STIs. It is the service that Finn and I use, and we have been talking about it for years. It is easy and discreet and a simple and easier, same thing, I guess.
Well, not always.
Not always. But it's a great service. So thank you in advance for using those links.
And the last thing we want to just remind you all is that we would love to hear from you. Please send us an email if you have any questions or thoughts or feedback, or better yet, like Rowan and Aeryn, you want to come on the podcast to share your story. You don't have to be promoting anything other than just awesomeness and love and care and all of the amazing things. Being yourself in this crazy world. So please reach out to us. We would love to have you come on the show. The show doesn't exist without people like Rowan and Aeryn and like you. You can find all of that information under the Contact Us tab. Go do it.
And with that, let's go and talk to Rowan and Aeryn. Welcome to the podcast, Rowan and Aeryn. We're excited to have you here today. Thank you so much for reaching out. We know very little about your story. We're excited to dive in and learn more today. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we always get excited to talk to people who are huge fans of the show. And here we are doing it. So we're stoked to hear your story. Maybe we just start by having you two introduce yourselves like we do every other week.
Sure. Okay, well, I'm Rowan.
I'm Aeryn.
Go ahead.
Oh, wow. Introductions. Okay.
I've never seen you speechless like that.
Currently, so I'm 37 years old. We are in Ohio. I'm originally from Hawaii, but I've been here for 20 years. I had a lot of time on my own growing up in this area, so I developed a lot of how to survive. And I mean, polyamory has always just made more sense for me. So that is there. I'm trying to get my music out, but I also make jewelry. I make a lot of things. If I can make it, I try and learn it. I learn things pretty quickly. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Definitely of the two of us, he's the more exciting one.
gosh.
So I'm Rowan. I'm 31. I've been in Cincinnati all my life. That's really, I have a passion of working with children. Right now, I'm currently just on like a health journey, trying to get my diabetes and stuff in order. And then after that, I plan on just being like a preschool teacher. That's going to be my career goal. So
Awesome.
I've been polyamorous for as long as I've known him. So that
Which is?
we've been together for 10 years, married for 4.
Okay.
Amazing. Well, and it sounds like then, Rowan, you sort of, we'll say, came into non-monogamy through Aeryn. And I'm curious, Aeryn, where did it come into your world for the first time?
Well, honestly, the probably typical answer, I'd hope, but I'll take the shame if not. I was not good at monogamy.
That is a typical answer.
Yeah. And I tried. My mother was a wedding singer. So I was around weddings a lot when I was little. At 6 years old, I had my wedding planned out to the menu and the song we were going to walk it down to. And then it just kind of faded away as I started dating and realizing that I never liked the fact that in order to experience a connection with somebody else, I had to break someone else's heart. And it never made sense to me if the love was still there, but there was more, that I couldn't have the more and everybody still be happy. It didn't go well for probably, let's see.
For some time.
Yeah, so probably the first 15 years of dating and trying, and it just didn't work well. And then I kind of stumbled into polyamory because I was doing it without a term. I didn't know the right ways, and I had to learn all the rules as we go and all of the different
Yeah,
cultures.
I would even say when we met, you were still kind of
I was still
figuring it out because we really didn't have a term for it when we first got together. We were just best friends working together, and then there was a physical attraction. So we kind of sat down one night after work and was like, okay, this is what we're doing. No titles, no strings attached, just being best friends and doing what we do. And then like almost a year later, we ended up getting pregnant with our first child together. And we were like, oh, well, okay, guess we're dating now. So
So, sounds like that friendship had some other benefits to it other than just your normal friendship activities.
I mean, yeah, we
Yeah.
did a lot together. We were together a lot. Like
we
Yeah.
worked at a sausage factory, and our shift was 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. So by the time you're getting off work, there's nowhere to eat.
Yeah.
And no one else to ask to go eat with. And it started out with
like
that.
that was a last resort.
No, because what it was I always made sure that I would stop somewhere and go. And sorry.
It's fine.
Okay. Rowan just came out as trans.
Yeah, literally
just,
after I set up
2 weeks
this.
ago. So
Oh, wow.
so he wanted to hang out, and I wanted to hang out. So
Yeah.
we started going to those dinners afterwards.
What the famous line was, this is not a date. Every time. This is not a date. Do you want to go to White Castles? This is not a date. Do you want to go to Steak and Shake?
I was at that time though. I had just gotten out of, well, it had caught up to me. Different people getting attached at different levels that I was seeing, and it just kind of imploded.
Mhm.
So I was also, and I'm saying this to save my face, but also to be like, I know that it probably doesn't sound all that great, but I was doing it because I had just hurt 3 people that are in
No, it's fine.
the same time.
was-
And I was like, I don't want connections. I don't want
Well, I appreciated it
attachments.
because I actually so as far as me stumbling into polyamory, I was with somebody from the time I was 14 to about 6 months before I met him.
Okay.
My oldest son is with that person, and like we were monogamous the whole time. And he's not the only one that was bad at monogamy. Like there were times where I would actually I cheated on him a few times, and he would cheat on me, and it was just kind of like, why are we doing this? And then we split up, and then that's when I met him. So him saying like, this is not a date, there's no strings attached, I was like, yes, please, because I've been with somebody for so long, I just want to stretch my wings and figure myself out. So
Yeah.
Yeah. It just happened to work for both of you.
yeah. And I was able to explore sides of myself that were pretty much oppressed the whole time.
And you are my first poly relationship. Like
Woo!
the first one that I said to everyone, I am poly. This is how I'm doing
Yeah.
the official stuff. It is this one.
Well, and same, because obviously I was with that one person. And I mean, like my sexuality was oppressed. I knew that I like girls from a very young age, but like family wise and things like that, it was really hard to tell people that. And the person I was with was absolutely like, no, you can't do that. And so meeting him, I was like, you mean to tell me I can be with you and love you, but also go see how this is with a female? Yes, I'm down for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's amazing. And it just kind of strikes me, as Aeryn, as you kind of talked about, right? Like every time you were asking Rowan out is like, well, this isn't a date. This isn't a date. And you kind of talked about how it sounds like for a while, you said for 15 years, you were trying to figure out how to date, how to be with people without crushing other people and breaking hearts. And I'm just curious, like maybe just high level, what that 15 years looked like. Were you actually trying to have conversations with the people you were dating to say, hey, is there a different way? Or was it the sort of serial monogamy, cheating kind of things going on?
Yeah, no, it was definitely not conversations. I didn't even know it was an option, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
It was a lot of my exes would still want a connection, even on a friendship level. And then if I have loved you, I will always love you. And I don't believe I'm try to be very genuine in my speech and what I'm saying. So if you say I love you and I love you, which I do, I'm going to say it back. And that caused just that little bit was probably 3 of my relationships downfall is just you still love her. And yes, I do. I love you, but yes, I still love her. I will always love her. And so it was a lot of just there were some chaotic moments in my life where I was like, I'm not dating anyone. And at that point, there was like 8, 10 people. It was not great. It was, I was,
Yeah. I even have had over the past 10 years issues with the fact that he doesn't seem to be able to let people go. I mean, not that he's like chasing them down or anything like that, but just like if they come back in his life, it doesn't matter if they've hurt him or he's hurt them. It's like nothing ever happened. And for me, I'm more black and white in my thinking. Like if it was bad then, it's probably not going to be great now. And so we've had a few disagreements on that. But
but
I've
that's
also grown a lot in the last 2 years. So
that even goes on worldviews though.
mhm.
I believe that if you're feeling a need for a connection with someone, even just I want to be close to them, there's a reason for that. The
Yeah.
same way that a pregnancy craving is telling you what your body needs for that growth, it's the same thing. If you're feeling you need that closeness, there's a reason, even if it can blow up. It may not be the time for that, but you still know you need that. And I don't
Yeah.
like letting things go like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, and so you two come together, and like you said, you meet at work. You become friends. You start going on these non-date dates, and and at that point, well, it sounds like you did have some of the conversation, right? It sounds like you laid out, here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Here's what it means. It evolved, but it sounds like you had that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, because at first, actually, it's funny. He was attracted to my best friend before we even like were a thing, and the only reason. Do you want to tell the story? I don't.
No, go for it.
The only reason why we started talking in the first place was because I thought he was cute, and so the way we worked at a factory where I was on one side, which was the cold side, and I was like quality inspection, and he was on the packing side. So there's this little window where the conveyor belt goes through, and I may or may not have flicked a tray, so then he would have to come to the window and talk to me.
I was the line lead on that side. So
Yeah.
if it broke down, I would have to come and fix it.
Yeah.
The
So
machine broke a lot, I imagine.
until he started hanging out with me. But no, but yeah, we did, like, that started the conversation of us actually talking to each other, and then, yeah, we did sit down and have just like a, what do we want out of this? Like, what do we not wanna change? What is gonna change? And I think we figured out nothing was changing. We
No,
just knew that we were attracted to each other, and like I said, I had been sexually oppressed for years, so
Mhm.
I when I looked at him and the fireworks sparked, I was like, "Yeah, okay, let's do that."
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
make it sound like a snake charmed you into polyamory.
he did snake charm me in the no. So, but
Well, so
yeah, we were just like, these are the basic things, like, we're not gonna fall in love with each other, like, we love each other at this level, and this is where it's gonna stay. And then someone, about, what, 4 months after that, decided to drop the L bomb on me.
yeah, I've heard one of you tends to love a lot. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I love hard, I love fast.
Yeah, I think we were really just kidding ourselves with that whole
Yeah.
conversation because, like,
Well, we have to say how we got there. So at the time that I was working there near the end, my Xterra, I blew up the engine and it was my fault. You
he didn't
can't
change the
ignore
oil.
you can't ignore the low oil for too long. I was just trying to make it a couple more days. But it had other plans, and then I ended up having it towed back to work because at that time, I didn't have a place.
Yeah.
I
he
was seeing so many
transient.
people that I always had a place to stay or something to do, and then I can always just sleep in the bath. Well, then I had it towed to work because I was like, this is where I am now. This is where I need to be.
Yeah.
And so I was living at work. Then they wanted to put their boat in the spot on the side where I was,
Yeah,
like the owner.
owners.
So then I was not allowed to be there anymore. So I asked Rowan if I could camp out in his backyard.
And I was like, no, just come in the house and sleep in my room with me. Because I was staying with my parents at the time and my oldest. And I was like, just come in the house and sleep with me. And he looked at me and he said, one night, that's it. And 10 years later, we're still sleeping in the same room. So
It's a long night. It's a long
Yeah.
yeah, very long night.
night.
That line in Leather and Lace,
That's one of our songs, Leather
Yeah.
and Lace. Because one of the lines is, I knew when I walked through that door, I'd never want to leave.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And then it was,
Yeah.
I'm never going to get married. And look at us now. So.
Well, but along the way here, right? Your friends who are more than friends, but not calling it that. You're able to explore. You're able to sort of look into some of these places where maybe you were oppressed, Rowan. And I'm curious even in that first year, it sounds like you were sort of doing, or not even sort of, you were doing non-monogamy, polyamory without the label. How did it go for you two being together and also exploring?
Yeah, I mean, it went okay. Like, so we kind of had a lot of crash and burns the first couple years where we're still learning, we're still figuring out. Like one of which was, he's moved into our house and was staying with us, and he had met a girl who was local. We had issues in school together, me and this girl, like physical altercations had taken place and things like that. Like she was my bully for a couple years, actually.
I knew none of this.
Yeah, he knew none of this. He didn't know any of this until he was like, hey, at the time I was going by my birth name. So he was like, hey, Liz, like, can you take me to Miami town, which is like 5 minutes from where we live, so I can meet up with this girl? And I was like, sure, I don't care. Like, I'll take you. And I was driving, we pull up, and here she comes walking up the road. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you have to get out of the car like right now. Like, I cannot. And like she would show up at our work and stuff, and it was really tense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, they didn't last very long. They didn't, but they had the titles and stuff. So we went through a time where I was like, well, how come you can call her your girlfriend, but I'm not your girlfriend? But in the grand scheme of things, as we've gotten older, I realize now that we were more than just boyfriend and girlfriend anyway. Like we had like the best friend dynamic and the relationship dynamic, and like we were teammates, partners.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But yeah, navigating it was rough because, like I said, I was monogamous for most of my life at that point, and he had been.
I got with another person, and
Yeah.
And at the time, she worked 4 days straight and would have 3 days off in a row.
Yeah.
And it became the schedule of I spent those 3 days straight with her.
Yep.
And then I would come back and I would be working for a lot of the time I was here. So Rowan didn't get a lot of time in that. It was a really bad deal.
Yeah. Once we moved out of my parents' house, and right before we found out we were pregnant with Lucas. And so when we moved there, that's when like the schedule kind of started where he would be there for so long, and then he would be seeing another person on Mondays and then with me maybe 2 days out of the week. And it got really rough because the other person became possessive in a way. Like, I'm not getting enough time. And okay, I understand you have needs, but like I'm just over here bebopping around my apartment by myself all the time. And at that time, like I said, non-monogamy was so new to me that it was weird for me to be alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was hard. I had a lot of hard feelings about it. And I tried really hard to just let it go. And I realized very quickly that not speaking up was like my downfall, because I just kind of let him go and do whatever, and you'll be here when you're here. But then none of my needs were being met.
Yeah, you're abandoning yourself in the process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So it caused a pretty big blow up with that other person. And then She was also unhappy with the fact we were having a child together too.
Yeah.
But
I think that's so common too, right? That when we get into non-monogamy and we say, "Hey, we've agreed we're going to see other people," it can easily creep in to say, "Well, I'm never allowed to speak up when you're seeing somebody else because I agreed to this. Therefore, I should never have any feelings. It should always be easy. And if it's not, I just have to like bury it in myself."
yeah.
And that doesn't work.
No, and I think I was trying to have this like alpha attitude of like, no, I'm cool. I can do this. I'm the one that can do all of it. I'm cool. Kind of like even to impress him probably a little bit was like
Yeah.
my thinking, like if I'm just really chill with everything, then I'll be like top dog. And I realized that is not okay. And that is unethical to me. And also that way of thinking isn't really.
Yeah. It doesn't ultimately help the relationship either.
No.
Yeah.
No, we had some rough moments just with that in general. And then honestly, I'll say at that time when I was dating Liz and the other person, we I was working at a pizza place and I still wasn't doing it well.
Oh, you're gonna talk about
Yeah.
okay.
So even with the two, and I felt like I was having sufficient time with both of them and I wanted another person, but I didn't know how to introduce it from both sides. I was hearing and ignoring that even though it was 3 straight days and 4 straight days, it was not enough time. And I was hearing it. I heard that. So I knew that I couldn't broach the subject of, well, I want somebody else.
Yeah, he felt kind of trapped, like between the emotional and mental capacity that me and the other person had at the time. Like he thought everything would explode, and no, he did not do it properly.
No,
Not at all.
I didn't. I cheated.
He did, and he was very off, not himself. He would come home super late, like 3, 4 in the morning, and I'm like, dude, what do you mean you were doing like you're out work this whole time? There's no way. Like they've been closed since 12. And we mind you, the place he worked was 2 minutes from our house, so it's not like travel time was in there.
Huh.
And then one time, my friend who I was working with
I would
actually
say I would have late closes and then I would go to a bar.
yeah, and meet up with this person, and then there was a time where he was like, "Oh, I'm at work," and I drove around because I worked down the street, and he was not at work.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew, like, "Oh, no, no, no." And then, I mean, he had a whole breakdown about it, confessed himself to me, we talked about it. It took some time, but ultimately I forgave him for it, so.
Yeah, and it was 2 years before I even broached the subject of another partner.
Yeah, it was a long time. We were kind of polyamorous, but just with each other for a couple years, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in recovering, it sounds.
Yeah.
And also, I want to say you had a baby in there too. So, like, there's that happening too.
Mhm.
We had 2
Yeah, we had
in that time.
Yeah, we had 2 because then we had our youngest and our last, around 2018, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, it was a lot. There was a lot of family transitioning, and then we ended up moving back with my parents, and I know I was not emotionally ready to look for anyone. I just got my first partner a year ago.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, actually, I was going to ask Rowan if in this time you were able to explore at all, or it sounds like not until recently. But I'm curious for you throughout the last 10 years, were you able to do some of that exploring for yourself?
Oh, yeah, like, so, the first few years, I'd say I was just kinda, like, getting comfortable with the fact that I could reach out to other people because, like I said, I was raised with a lot of toxic monogamy pushed into my brain, and then my first husband was very much like, you can't go and barely even be friends with people, honestly. Like, he would get upset when I went with my mom to the laundromat, so, like,
Wow.
it was very new to me, so
And I was like, just tell me where you are so I know you're safe.
yeah, like, he's just literally like, "Just let me know you're breathing and we're cool." So it was just really it was a culture shock, I guess, for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
The pendulum went from one side to the other, like
Yes.
completely to the other side. That was like, whoa, what do I do here?
yeah, exactly, and I was just like, "Okay, well, this is new," and then he had met someone who he brought to our house for me to meet, because I'm very introverted too. So like I don't do the bar scene. I don't do like I'll do karaoke every Wednesday with him now, but that's about it. So if I'm not meeting you on like a dating app, I'm probably not meeting you.
And if I have the choice, I'm in a karaoke bar every night.
Oh yeah, he's very extroverted. But so he brought someone for me to meet. We hit it off. I actually got to have my first female experience, and that was amazing. And we didn't really go anywhere. And then we found some local like swingers club kind of deal. So I got to explore there, which was really cool because like again, my family was conservative. My ex-husband was conservative. So like walking around naked in a plaid button up, amongst strangers was just like so freeing and great. And then I just kind of was happy with just being with him. And like if the experience came like that was fine. And then he brought my now partner and also his partner. So we're actually in a triad. To our house.
Today.
Yes, now
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, she's over there helping with the baby. We didn't know we were watching.
So, but she came over one day and was like, "Oh yes, this is Jess."
Hi.
Well, hello.
So she came over one day to actually like see him, and I was like, "Oh, well, I want to meet her because she's my new meta. I want to meet her. Keep her at the house." But I was running errands, and I came home, and like the moment I saw her, I was like,
Was it my birthday? It
was not.
No, it was a week before.
But the moment I saw her, I was like, "Oh wow, you and me, we should be a thing." And so like all summer she would come and hang out because she also has a child around the same age as Lucas, and so she would come hang out. They would play. We'd sit at the kitchen table and just talk. And like all summer, I'm thinking one day you will be my girlfriend, but I didn't say it. But I would like drop little innuendo jokes and stuff, and then eventually I was like, "When are you gonna just date me? Like, when are we gonna just?" So we actually just celebrated our 1-year anniversary on August 12th.
So
I love it.
3 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, over the last 2 years, I have grown a lot in my way of thinking and how I view polyamory and just like what I want for me. So I feel like my experiences are going to expand now.
Yeah.
I feel like now is probably the best just to keep it together in my head.
Yeah.
I also have 2 other partners.
Yeah.
So I have one that I've been with for 5 years, one that I've been with for 2 years, and then Jess I've been with for 1.
1.5.
Well, if
Sounds
we do
weird
one,
if you don't say 1.5 because I just
oh,
said
because
we've
you
been
just
together
did
for a
1.
year.
All right, so 1.5, and then I guess it's 2.5 on the other one too.
Yeah.
But so I have 4 partners currently. But I figure if we're introducing Jess, we should
Introduce
put them
her.
all
Yeah.
there, get them all together.
Yeah, like that's the landscape today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
you were.
Well, I was going to say, I love that people listening have probably heard a little bit of background noise, and I love that just pops in. We didn't even know that was happening. So we can live fact check anything you two say about the triad.
Oh yeah.
Well, we actually have our triad runs smooth.
Yeah.
We
There's a lot of conversion going on there. It's
well, I mean, it helps that I fell in love with her the moment I saw her, but I mean, like, she would even come over and, like, they would be getting physical in our room, and I'm just chilling at the kitchen table, like, reading a book, not bothered at all. So it's probably the most perfect dynamic I think we could have fallen into.
Yeah, well, and I'm actually curious about that because I just my brain goes to maybe mononormativity land of if I'm in love with somebody and my partner is in another room getting physical with them, like did that trigger anything for you?
No, I thought it would at first, like, when we were first kind of exploring, because I'm also a voyeur, I like to watch, so like, we explored that a little bit, and then I was like, I guess it would be fine if she just, like, had the time and could come over. Because like, her house, like, with her son there and her ex there, it's kinda hard for Aeryn to go over and have alone time, so I was like, "Nah, just come on over." Wasn't really thinking about it, and then, no, I mean, I was just happy that the 2 people I love a lot were enjoying each other.
And I just want to add, this was also new to this house. We had just moved into this place. It was new for our relationship.
Yeah, but it's almost like we
she
got a
was
fresh start
cool with it.
when we moved
Yeah.
into our place, because it was like, okay, there's no baggage here, there's no bad tapes, no bad memories. Let's just be, new. And
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'd say the last 2 years we've gotten a lot closer than we probably have in 10.
Yeah. There's
So,
definitely something to moving into a different space and having it shift and be able to like
Mhm.
create that wherever you're at in life today, like in that
Yeah.
moment, to be able to cultivate that.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
With my other partner, we broached overnights again because that was not a thing that I was doing. I
So-
wasn't staying away
So
from the house.
let's give some background on that. So when the whole cheating situation happened at first, and then we were recovering, I had some steadfast rules. The way I viewed polyamory was like, okay, look, this is supposed to be ethical. So what I'm comfortable with, you're going to listen to. What you're comfortable with, like, so the rule was like no overnights. No, they couldn't come in our house. Like, I'm telling you, when I say it's a complete 180 over the last 2 years, because I was like, you're not sleeping with anyone in my bed. You're not doing this. They can't come over. I don't want to see them. Like, it was very parallel.
Mm-hmm.
So when he got with this new partner 2.5 years ago, and it was rough. He has really, really intense NRE. Really intense. And I
I-
kept telling him, like,
I'm
Aaron.
nodding, but they can't see that, so I'll confirm.
Yeah. So it's like, I would tell him, like, Aaron, like, okay, I get it. You're excited. She's great. Awesome. You're going to come home sometimes. Like, you're going to. And so when they broached the overnights, at first I was like, oh, absolutely not. But then I realized if he's not here and the kids go to bed, I can do whatever I want. So now it is a weekly occurrence. I get my time to myself. And if it doesn't happen, I'm like, when are you going? Did you reschedule? Like, can anyone pick you up for a little while? Like, let me have my time.
We purchased 2 lemons in a row
Yes.
in the beginning part of this year. So we've been without a car for a little bit, and I've been home more than ever.
Yeah. As much as I love him, and I really, really do love him, the fact that he was out door dashing, Instacarting all hours of the night, and I could just, like, I had free reign. He'd come home, we'd see each other, get that time, and then it's like, shoo.
I don't sleep well.
Yeah.
So I fell asleep at 6 today and woke up
Yeah.
at 8. I typically get like 3 or 4 hours. So I want to be doing things. There's always something to do.
Mhm.
And I realized that I could do DoorDash in the middle of the night, and it was like video game. It's you take the quest, you pick it up, you take
Yes.
it there, quest completed. I got a dopamine hit and I got paid, and I didn't have to stare at the wall.
And I got to eat chips and cheese in bed and not be bothered. So it was a win-win 100%. And so, like, when he gets stuck here, it's kind of like he's antsy and I'm antsy. And I'm like, just
Just go.
somebody. I'll hit up the polycule group and be like, anybody free? Want to pick up Aaron? Want to go hang out? Like, so, but yeah, the overnights changed. When we lived in our own home, it was like, okay, your girlfriends want to come over during the day. Like, I had a day job, so I wasn't home. And, like, they wanted to be intimate with him. And I'm like, oh, in our bed. Okay. And I thought about it and I was like, change the sheets. Change the sheets every time you do it. And I don't care. And now I think I'm at the point where I don't even care about the change sheets, honestly. Like, whatever, and then it was, his other partner was actually sleeping at our house because at first it was hotel rooms.
For
And-
a year of hotel rooms. She lives with her mom.
Mhm.
She's 25 and
Yeah.
getting her life together, and was going to go to school, and I think she's still looking at it. But so she didn't have a place of her own, and she wasn't going to get one anytime soon. So it was probably a year of hotel rooms.
No, because you started the overnights probably in the winter, like November, December area, and then
Okay,
we
so about
moved
4 or
to
5
March.
months of them
Yeah.
every week.
So about a half a year of hotel rooms, and then one night they were like, "We don't know how we're gonna like." She was broke, he was broke. They're like, We don't know how we're gonna do this." I'm like, "Dude, okay, look, just sleep here. I don't even care. I'll sleep in the living room." So, like, I got an air mattress. Would hang out in the living room, watch my YouTube and stuff. They would have their time in the bedroom, and yeah, worked out.
Yeah.
Now we're thinking when we do move into a bigger house, we're gonna have a guest room though for that because I got sick of sleeping on the air mattress real quick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you on that one.
Yeah.
And it sounds like, I mean, the two of you have it's been 10 years, and yet it's also like there's been so much growth and learning and trying different things and then slowing down, pausing, trying to recalibrate a bit and then coming back together until it gets like that's beautiful and how and not easy by any means, but like coming and just trying again and let's see how can we come together now and where are we both at.
Yeah, we did a lot of weekly check-ins for a while. Now we kind of just like, hey, you got anything? Nah, I'm good. You got anything? Nah, I'm good. Like random, like just be sitting in the tub, just anything new happening in your life, like so that it's not on a strict schedule for a check-in, but we're still being intentional and making sure we're like.
Yeah, which actually was going to be my question is how are you two like fostering your relationship now?
Well, it gets sticky sometimes, and I kind of have to see. Okay, so this one loves really hard and really fast. He also moves really fast. So sometimes I'll be like, "Hey, dude, remember me over here in the corner? Want to hang out or something?" Like, so I kind of take the lead with that, and I'm like, "Hey, we haven't done any like one-on-one time in a while, so we need to put." We actually have a shared calendar with our polycule, so I'll go in there and be like, "Rowan and Aeryn time, do not disturb," kind of thing.
So I'm high functioning ADHD with a nomadic soul and a thirst to put my hands to anything I can. I learned guitar in a week.
Yes.
And like it's wire wrapping I do. Most of my jewelry and rings are my own now.
Yeah, he actually made my wedding ring for me because I kept losing the ones we bought, so.
Oh, cool.
And like last night I decided I also want to start doing some clothes like rave attire. So like I always want to be moving. And that's really hard when Rowan doesn't want to go anywhere.
No, Rowan doesn't want to go anywhere. So I was going to say, I'm not nomadic at all. I like my comforts. I like to be in my space. So, but it works because I also like my alone time. So it's like, okay, come be in my space, share this space with me for a while. And now, okay, I have my fill. You can go do whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah. The point I was getting to that with that was they manage me.
Yeah, I do. Because he comes and be like, I have this idea. Okay, how are we going to do this? I want to see this person. Okay, look, if you move this around and this around, you can see this person. Okay. Like he wants to do music, so I'm managing his music Facebook page. Like I'm doing all of it, posting the karaoke videos, and he just being pretty and singing. That's what. So yeah, I manage a lot of the time shared with everyone, making sure everybody gets what they need. And again, it did kick me in the butt like before where I was like, oh, okay, I'm cool, but so-and-so hasn't seen you in like 4 days. So let's put that time in there. And well, you have to do your Friday overnight. So let's move this around and this around. And like I would go without events and stuff that I actually wanted to go to because I was caring about the other people. I love my metas too much, I guess, is the thing.
And there's
there's
the Gale clause.
Yeah, the Gale clause. So the partner he's been with for 5 years, if she wants to see him, I don't care who it is.
It overtakes anything. We go months without seeing each other sometimes. Yeah. So when they have a moment, it's sorry, everything's cleared. I'm there. So that can get.
But it works because typically they only want to hang out for a couple hours at a time. So
yeah,
it's like, hey, like I'll go to the other partners kind of privately and be like, hey, so this might happen on this day. I know you were supposed to hang out with him. Do you mind cutting it like 2 to 3 hours so then he can see Gail and have that time? And yes. But if I did it, you'd be all over the place.
No, I need it.
Managed with love.
Yes.
So
we are a good partnership on so many levels, and that is one that is
but like completely opposite. It's so funny. It's like we don't even like the same music. We don't like a lot of the same movies. I'm like a horror fanatic. He hates horror movies. Can't do it. So, and not because he's scared, but because he just doesn't.
They don't make sense. They don't make sense. It is a series of bad choices.
Yeah, well, I like to watch the series of bad choices.
That's right. That's right.
And Rowan, it sounds like for you too, a lot of this and like gives you a lot of joy as well.
Yes. So I always, when we first got together, I didn't have any compersion at all. I'll be very honest. When he was seeing the first initial partners that he had outside of me, there was a lot of jealousy that I had to deal with because, as I said, growing up, it was you have one partner, you get married, and you live the rest of your life. Doesn't matter if you're unhappy, you deal with it, right? So when he first started seeking other people and kind of going out, well, I guess me and that person were kind of at the same time. But
Yeah.
when we were living together, so once we moved in together, it was kind of like, okay, this is real, right? Like we are a partnership. So it was hard. I would be really upset. I cried a lot. There was a lot of, but it was weird because I was upset, but at the same time, my inner like self was like, no, this is what you want because then you can also go do this. Like you have your freedoms too. You can explore and do things and like so it's what I actually wanted. It was just getting rid of that monogamy mindset, I guess. And I think like I said 2 years ago it all just kind of clicked. It was like a switch had been flipped.
Yeah. Well, one thing that kind of sticks out to me in that, Rowan, is you talked a little bit about speaking up for yourself, and I feel
Mhm.
like that, just what I heard in that is, right. If you're now able to speak up when you feel like, well, just the metaphorical cup starts to get empty, right? It becomes a whole lot less scary to say, yeah, I'm happy to help you go on this date or
Yeah.
over. I'll sleep in the living room, right? If your cup is pretty full, it's so much easier to be like, yeah, no problem, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
We had a really big breakdown after I turned 35 and my whole mindset
Oh, yeah, he, like, completely
shifted.
changed, and I was like, "What is going on?" Like, "This whoa, you're different."
I was a micromanager of people's feelings because that was efficient in my brain to get where I needed to be. That's the the choicest way of saying I manipulated people. I
Yeah, I mean, so what he would do is, like, he would omit things, not necessarily lie, but not tell the whole story, because he's like, "Well, if I tell you that I'm gonna sleep with this person, then you're gonna be upset." And it's like, I would rather and I told him this,
It was bad.
"I would rather you tell me something that's gonna upset me, let me feel my feelings, and then we're fine, like, we can talk it out. I'm not gonna not let you do the thing,
And then
but, I need my space to feel it."
yeah. And shortly after my 35th birthday, I came clean about anything I could think of.
Oh my gosh, it was such a harrowing summer, I'll tell you what.
But afterwards, the the communication was put on a clean slate
Yeah, I feel like once we kinda
and we were able to build.
yeah, I feel like once he finally like, we finally sat down and because like, at one point, he had a whole life where he was going to the strip club after work every night. I had no idea. He thought I'd be upset about it, and I'm like, "I
I would have
coulda
gone with you.
coulda went with you, like, we could've or you could've went on your own," but, like, it's like, once everything was out in the open, I was able to feel my feelings about it, he felt his feelings, we kinda talked about it, okay, like, this can like, you it has to be open communication. No more trying to spare my feelings. This is what we have to do in order to get through, because, like, we were at a point where we actually separated
Yeah.
for about 2 weeks. It didn't last very long because we realized fairly quickly, like, this is not what we wanna do, we wanna fix this. But it was because I was finding things out, and it was a lot for me, so
Yeah.
but
And I decided I didn't want to do it anymore.
yeah.
So now instead of being half truths, now I'm kind of overly forceful and I'm working on that. I'm just
Now he
blunt.
now he kinda overly talks it, and I gotta be like, "Okay, okay, I heard you, I got it, we're good." Like, you don't have to explain everything, like, I hear you, I hear what's gonna happen, so
yeah.
but, yeah, and then I'm also like, Jess has helped me a lot with this over the past year of being able to say, "Hey, I don't like this. What can we do to fix this? Like, I'm feeling this kinda way about this," or, like, music festivals are big for him, but we have kids, so when his one partner who is let's say she's free and clear single, she has no kids, nothing really tying her down, can leave for 5 days and wants to take him with her, I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, pump the brakes. How long are you gonna be gone exactly? When are you leaving? Where are you going? Is there cell service?" Like and it's really just for the kids at that point because 5 days away is a long time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But at first, I really didn't voice that, and I was just like, "Okay," and be upset about it while he's gone, but then and apologize for myself. I do that a lot. I say I'm sorry more than like the normal person, I think. And Jess has really been like, what are you sorry for? What are you sorry for? You're feeling your feelings. You're allowed to feel your feelings. Like, she's very validating. So we're getting a lot better.
I'm
But you
also
are too.
deeply empathetic, and I feel vibes and when they're off. And so to be told, no, it's fine, go. And then this does not feel fine, and it just always snowballs.
I guess in my own different way, I was hiding truths from him too for a long time, because not necessarily physicality or anything with other people, but just how I was actually feeling. But that also stems from my childhood as well, of just get over it.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. Just get over it. So I had that mindset. Well, I'll be fine. I'll get over it.
Yeah.
I'll cry while he's gone, and when he comes back, I'll be just so happy to see him. It won't be a big deal, But I had a lot of resentment start to build towards him, and he wasn't like, he was just doing what I said was fine. And so we had to visit that and look at that a lot, and I'm also going through therapy too. Like, I'm going to be getting that situated, because I feel like without that, even though I've grown so much, I still need that support. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It really strikes me is just the timing when you kind of said, Rowan, like, well, like 2 years ago, things sort of like almost broke free and there was like a big shift for you and they
Yeah.
clicked into place. But that lines up perfectly with Aeryn sort of, hey, I'm actually going to put all the cards on the table now. And it strikes me as like, that's pretty, it makes sense, right? That once it's out there in the open, like everybody feels it, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like somewhere along the way you were feeling it too, even subconsciously. There's something that doesn't feel right, and now it's out in the open, and everybody's. I mean, it doesn't make it necessarily easy because now you have to say all the hard shit you weren't saying for so long.
Yeah.
But it feels better at the end of the
It feels
day.
like you're being more honest to yourself and to the other people. Like I said, we have a group chat on Facebook. It's called the Polycule. That's his partners, me, him, and we have a shared calendar now, which gives us a headache a lot. But hey, we deal with it, But yeah, it's definitely gotten a lot better, and yeah.
I'm a little curious too. Like, navigating a triad is historically one of the harder ways to do relationships, and I'm curious how the three of you navigate and what your triad dynamic looks like on, I don't know, like an average basis.
That woman back there is a saint.
She's a wonderful. She is just compersion. If you look up the definition, she is just a wonderful. I really think it just falls to we found the right person. I mean, we all talk. He sees her on his own once a week, and then like she'll come see me, and then we've gone on dates. Like, we actually, what did we describe it as? Like, we don't feel like anyone's getting less attention when we're all together. We're just all happy to be together.
Yeah.
Like, I have never felt, and this is crazy for me because of, like I said, my childhood and in a toxic monogamy mindset, never felt an ounce of jealousy around the two of them. Like, it just brings me pure joy to see them. Like, she'll have his arm around her, or he'll have his arm, and they're laughing, or we're all laughing together. And it's just a beautiful feeling. And just the fact that we're all honest with each other, honestly.
But I mean, like, when you came out as trans, I came out as trigender.
Yeah.
I started eye makeup and painting my nails and doing my hair the way I do and all of it. Like, and just rolling with every single bit of it.
She's like, oh, okay, you're trans now? Cool. Wonderful. She's so happy for me. She went out and bought me my first, like, man outfit. Like the cargo shorts and the dad t-shirt and his makeup. She's like, oh yeah, you look beautiful. Your nails look beautiful. Like, she's just very supportive, always there.
I didn't have time to do makeup.
But she's very intentional. She likes her space. And she's very intentional when she tells us, no, not today. And I think it works because she's so honest about it.
Yeah.
She won't come hang out if she don't want to. So we never have like the hurt feelings. And it sounds like honesty is
just being straight honest makes things so easy.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Yeah, I'm curious, Jess, for a fact check, if you can hear us back there. Can you confirm these are all accurate? You're good?
Yeah, I guess so.
You guess so. She's wonderful. Toot your own horn, baby.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just it just comes down to the fact that if we're feeling some type of way, we talk about it. Like I said, if she's not wanting to hang out, she'll be honest. Hey, I've had a long day. I don't want to right now. And we don't even have hurt feelings about it as much as like I want to see her every minute of every day. I know that is not feasible. So we'll just roll with whatever happens, and communication and honesty is probably key in a triad from my experience. And checking your jealousy would also be really important. Like, are you actually jealous of the fact that they're having a good time together, or what are you needing?
Mhm.
Like, what can you talk about and get from what you're experiencing now? So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
As you say that, it just brings back what you shared a little bit ago about when you had initially said, like, yeah, no overnights or no having women in our bed or people in our bed. And then, like, it's like you sit on that and you're like, well, wait, what's actually at the core of this? Actually, you know what? Just change the sheets. Right. And I
yeah,
think that I know that I'm equating two very different things in some ways, but that where you're sitting on something and being like, okay, I'm feeling something, my knee jerk reaction is to say, just don't do this thing. And then when you marinate on it a bit, it's like, well,
yeah,
what's at the core of it?
right. Because like when I had my steadfast rules, I knew why, because I was
Mhm,
hurt,
mhm,
but I wasn't taking the time to be like, okay, how can I heal the hurt, but also give him his autonomy and the freedom that we agreed on from the get go.
right.
And so, yeah, sitting on it thinking like, do I really care if he's having sex in our room, or is it just like I don't want to sit in a wet spot? And
Pretty
so,
reasonable.
yeah,
Just gonna throw that out there. Pretty reasonable.
No, it's
and
totally reasonable.
and it was just like, okay. And then like we had rules on when they needed to be up out of the bed,
Yeah.
because some people like to sleep in. And I would be sitting there, like, trying to respect privacy, trying to give them their space. But at the same time, my bathroom is through our bedroom. So, like,
It
Yeah.
can
wasn't.
y'all get out of bed and let me go do what I need to do in the
Yeah.
morning, please? So we kind
Yeah.
of set 10 a.m. Y'all got to
Well,
be up.
not
Don't
that
have
it makes it better on my part. It wasn't the only bathroom, though. It was just her bathroom, which I still understood,
the
and
front.
that's okay.
So the bathroom he's talking about
But I
was
wasn't like withholding bathroom
no.
privileges.
Yeah, okay. Let me
You
explain.
can use the yard. You can go out in the yard.
The bathroom he's talking about was shared between our 16-year-old, our 8-year-old, and our 6-year-old. So, and they're all boys. So tell me if you want to go in that one, or if you want to go in the bathroom that you have curated for yourself.
Completely understandable. I just did not want to sound like a monster.
No. Yeah, sorry. No.
I
No,
would use the yard. I would choose the yard, actually, I think.
yeah. And like we had an issue with like, okay, if you're not going to be out of bed, keep the door unlocked, right? Nobody's going to come in there. I'm in the living room. So if the kids come in, I can, play goalie and they're not going to get in. Let me just sneak in and go to the bathroom. I don't care if you're butt naked. I'm not looking at you. I got to go pee. So that was a bit of contention because someone kept locking the door, but we figured it out eventually.
Yes. Uh,
It's an imperfect science, and
Yes.
I think that's what I've loved about listening to you today is that we tried this, it didn't work, or we struggled here, or this blew up in our face, or we screwed up, and then
Mhm.
we course corrected. And I think that's the nature of relationships in general. Is you're just sort of like winding down a path, trying to keep it in the middle.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, you have to remember that you're dating a human, not a robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone makes mistakes. And like, I chose to forgive him because I thought about, like, what if I messed up real bad? And I actually did. And we may have to do like a part 2 on that conversation. But basically, I had a gambling addiction and I spent money I should not have spent, took money from like my mother and him. And we had to deal with that issue because I almost broke us too. But I forgave him because it's like, if I mess up that bad, I still love him and I still want to be with him. So I would hope that he would take the time, like feel his feelings, absolutely. Talk through it, absolutely. But at the end of the day, work with me to be better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, my thing on how I keep my relationships and how I view them is I love you and I want to be with you. That's not going to change. If you find a way that you can work it out, I can work it out. And then we can just move forward. And even if it changes the way that we see each other, we can still move forward. I'll make whatever, as long as we're both comfortable. I want to be with you. So there's not a question of how do we break up. It's how do we keep going?
Which I think is honestly why we've been together for 10 years. Because I have said so many times, like in the heat of the moment when we're having an argument, like, why are we even together? Like, we are so different. You don't agree with anything and I'm agreeing with. I don't agree with anything you're agreeing with. And he'll just be like, because I love you. And I'm like, oh, right. That's a thing. Love is a thing. So
Yeah.
Mhm. I love that you two have shared today, and just thank you for everything you've shared. And I wanted to, you've mentioned gender a little bit throughout this
Mhm.
interview as well. And I wanted to give you an opportunity, if you want to talk about it, to share a little bit about your journeys exploring and figuring that out as well.
yeah, sure.
Do you want to go yours?
Yeah, I can. I actually figured my gender out before he figured his gender out. Um, I've always felt different and wrong in my body since I was like a little kid. I would prefer to play with the Hot Wheels and the monster trucks and drive the Power Wheels, where my mom's like, no, I bought you Bratz dolls and I bought you Barbies and I bought you glitter and I'm like, no, I don't like any of that. Like, I was a straight tomboy all elementary school into junior high until I got to junior high, and it was like the pressure was on. Like, you have to wear makeup, you gotta look pretty, you gotta smell good, you gotta like. So I was lying to myself for quite some time. And then we got together and I was able to kind of express myself a little bit more, but I was still kind of hesitant. It wasn't until right after we got married. I think because he signed the contract and sealed the deal. Now I can't go anywhere. I was like, okay, no, this doesn't feel right. I think I'm both. I think I'm gender fluid. So I did a lot of research and looked it up, and then I went to him and I was like, hey, so this is how I'm feeling. Some days I feel more manly, some days I feel more feminine. And then some days I don't feel like anything at all, and it's weird, and I don't know how to navigate it. Can you help me? And crying baby. And he was like, yeah, and he was really excited about it. And then just a couple years went, and 2 weeks ago I was like, nope, I know why I've been struggling mentally all this time, because I've had a string of mental health diagnoses and disorders, and suicidal ideation is one of them. But I realized that it wasn't necessarily that I wanted to actually leave permanently. I just didn't like who I was.
Yeah.
And so we had this whole thing on the porch where I was like, I think I'm a man, and I love you, and like basically like I hope you stay, but like this is where I'm at.
And it was so perfect timing. We're both kind of witchy.
Yeah.
And it was like Chiron was in Aries with 4 planets in retrograde, which was a huge, like, I saw something about it when he came out.
Yeah, and after like
And I was like, wait, I just saw something about this. I looked it up, and it was like a time for drastic changes in
introspection and like
introspection,
transitions
identity, and
and
courage. And I was just like, now's your
yeah,
time to
we were
shine.
literally having this like tear-filled moment where I'm like, yeah, this is how I'm feeling, and he's like, oh, I'm so happy, and he's like, wait a minute, and he starts Googling on his phone. And then and I was like, yeah, because now, and I came out to my family, and they were all pretty supportive. Half of them were like, we already knew that, and I'm like, how did you know that before I knew that? And like I said, I bought my first like transition my clothes a little bit, and my mom is so funny because she's like cool with everything, but I think it still kind of like freaks her out a little bit. And so when I came out, we were going to an event together, the three of us, and I came out in my new outfit that Jess bought me, and she's like, boy shorts fit you better than any pair of girl shorts I've ever seen on your body. I'm like, see, it's meant to be. So, she used my proper pronouns. Like I said, it's only been 2 weeks, so I'm definitely, I give grace to my family because for 31 years I've been this person and this gender. So I'm not one of those people that gets upset about it. But she used my proper pronouns the other day at the
She's
gas
been
station,
taking
and
leaps and bounds,
yeah,
and it's been really fun to
then
watch.
she tells my brother, "Go talk to your brother," or whatever she said. But she called me his brother, and that was like
Wow.
to me. So
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And on mine, kind of like the polyamory, where I just didn't know it was a thing. I never I never challenged what my gender identity was because I never really cared what it was. So, as trigender or polygender, I am male, female, and the mix in between. So, and that's only the closest I can get to how I feel, which is just I'm me. If I'm going to be more masculine or more feminine, I have a big beard. I have Viking braids that I designed myself. I've got the 4 for my partners, and I've got the 7 for my children on this side. So, and then I have a poof on top because they like playing with my hair. So, so I keep that there.
We like to joke that he's a cryptid.
Yeah, I'm kind of a
He's
cryptid.
just like a thing of his own.
When we talk about the eye makeup, it was, well, no, I guess I did my nails first. I was like, I'm gonna paint for each of your favorite colors, which is which is what they are on my phone, with hearts. I would paint each finger for them, and I left this one blank. And then I was like, but I want creativity. I'm stuck at this pattern. So then I started doing these. I grew out 2 of my nails that everybody thinks are fake.
They do look fake.
But no, they're my real nails. I decided I wanted to do wings, just wings with eyeliner. And I was like, can we get eyeliner? So we got that.
Mhm.
And then wings became designs that people constantly ask are tattoos. And then it was
Yes.
color. And then I'm learning blending. And I picked it up pretty quick. I started in February and I consistently get
He can do a Kirby on his face with eyeshadow and eyeliner, like a perfect Kirby.
I'll
And
have
I'm
to
like,
send you guys
"What?"
some pictures of my
Yeah, yeah.
I was not prepared for that or I would have had them. But so yeah, polygender is just kind of the closest definition for someone else because it really doesn't matter to me. I know that I'm going to just be me and I move in between
Oh yeah, he does
very
very
fluidly.
fluidly.
I've always had a grace to my like a remarkable in the actual sense.
My mom used to, when I first told her about his gender journey and identity, she was like, I knew it. I knew it. Because way back when we first got together, she was like, are you sure he's not? And I'm like, no, he's not. And she's like, look at how he walks and he's so graceful. And like, so she's like, I knew this was all coming eventually.
And I dance everywhere.
He does dance everywhere.
Um
Can't walk through a bar with him. He's
no. And I also a funnier or another funny story on that one is actually code name. I got confirmation. Code name Sky, the 2.5-year relationship, knew me from about a year prior before we met, like actually talked, because I actually waited on her table with her boyfriend at the time. And she had mentioned that she thought I was attractive. And her boyfriend was like, I'm pretty sure he's gay. Like, so when we finally connected and she was like, wait, you work there? You waited on me. We thought you were gay. And then it just went a whole thing. So
yeah.
everybody knew before I did.
Same with me. It's like everyone knew before we could even tell ourselves the truth.
And then,
But I think with us, though, it was easy to talk to each other about it.
yeah, I've been doing it in steps, but I'm slowly cryptid status around town.
It's like he just zooms by on his free skates and all his glitter and glory, and people are like, "What was that?" Like,
And I Instacart, so I'm constantly in the Kroger's and
yeah, I'm
and just have met a lot of the people because I look the way I do, I walk the way I do, and just become really good friends with people that are working at the Kroger's and I see all the time. And one of the karaoke bars, there was a guy who had a problem with my makeup. We're in a very red area and
yeah.
it's gonna happen sometimes. But the owner had already seen me for like 2 or 3 weeks at that point on karaoke. And he was like, you can leave. Like, we like him. Like, you
Yeah.
can
To the
just
other person,
know.
to the other person.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
other guy was just like, he was just like,
Yeah, the
I
owner
was
was
singing at the time.
He
And
was like, he was heckling him and like talking about his makeup and not being so nice. And the owner was like, "Look, dude, we like him, so you can go. Like, we're not dealing with it." And I think we've run into more acceptance than we have any kind of negative
oh
uh,
yeah,
reactions to us.
I love doing my makeup. I do a different design every day, but I really love doing my makeup for festivals and music festivals because I get all the compliments and I get to say all the girls' makeups are pretty, and I'm one of those. If there is something that you are doing that I can see that you did, like you put effort into your makeup, your hair, the way your fashion, your clothes, or your nails, or something like that, I will never hesitate to compliment, and I'll scream it across a mall if I need to. Like
Yes,
if
he
I
will.
see you did it, I am going to recognize that because I feel like most men around me growing up were always the type that, well, yeah, she's beautiful. Everybody's probably telling her she's beautiful all day. I'm not going to be the next one. And I was like, you don't realize when I started doing all of my stuff and I'd get the compliments, like you don't realize how it doesn't
How
matter
good
how
it
many
feels.
compliments you get.
Yeah.
There's always another one that you will take. Like,
Yeah.
so
Which
I try and make
was
everybody feel good.
I was happy when he started doing makeup and stuff, partially because he does yell across malls and swimming pools and all of that. And when he looked just straight, cisgendered mono, I mean,
It
you
could
could
come
see
off
you
creepy.
could see
I
some
see
girls'
that.
reactions like, "Oh, okay, thanks," like, but they're more receptive because he
I
looks
look
more
I look more like
approachable,
me.
I guess.
Yeah.
I look
So,
more like me on the outside as I do on
yeah,
the inside now.
yeah,
Yeah.
And that's totally fair and valid, and I don't know if I ever put that together that way, but that makes so much
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
I
So,
love that.
talking to each other about it was easy because we love each other. We've known that for a long time,
We
and
did the whole gender swap.
yeah, we did a whole gender swap. I'm the husband, he's the wife. It's fine. Um, but it was easy because at the end of the day, I know he's gonna love me regardless.
Yeah.
And even if it did transition our relationship into a different, maybe non-physical way, I think we would still be partners in life. So,
Yeah.
If
Love
a
it.
transition, different transitions happen as you get older.
mhm.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it's been a roller coaster for real. 10 years.
And
But
I'm gonna predict it will probably continue to be, but I love that, like the love between you two, and I know we get to see it. People can't necessarily see it, but I think they can hear it because it's palpable, and
Yeah.
it's been a joy and a delight watching you two and listening to you two share your story, and I think that
well, we're happy that we reached out and you were like, "Yeah, sure, let's schedule you," because like I said, we've been a fan for years.
And we would binge it on our
Uh,
5-hour
yeah,
drives to
anytime we
West
went
Virginia.
on road trips or even just like out and about, we
Yeah.
would have it where we'd dash our Instacart together. And I'd always say like, "Oh my gosh, I just want to be on this show so bad. I want to tell our story." And he'd be like, "Well, do it then." And I'm like, "No." But now I think we're at a point where it's like, yeah, let's tell our story.
Yeah.
I always said I'd write a book one day, but it's still in the works.
well, when you do, we'll have you back on to promote it because
Yeah.
we're so grateful that you reached out, and I think that's also an invitation to everybody else listening. If you're thinking, "Wow, we should tell our story," we agree, you should.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yes.
absolutely.
Totally worth it.
I had a lot of fun doing this. Like this, yeah.
Yeah.
At first I
Great.
thought I was gonna be nervous and not be able to talk, but yeah, it's not as
Yeah, I mean,
nerve-wracking as you think.
good. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it and just that both of you just, I don't know, as Finn said, the love is palpable and I just have so enjoyed talking with you. And thank you, Jess, for popping in too. And
I love her.
and just yeah, thank you both. And I'm excited for the future and what's to come and
Yeah.
would love to have you back on at some point too.
Totally.
Oh, we would love
Absolutely.
to. We
We'd
would
love
love
it.
to, yes. 'Cause we
Yeah.
have tons more stories to tell.
Fantastic.
It's
Well,
been a long 10 years.
yeah. Well, before we let you go today, is there anything else either or both of you wanted to throw out in the world, or Jess back there, if you have something you want to shout out to the world?
Got anything, baby? You wanna shout out? She's See, like I said, bluntly honest. She
Yep.
anything,
Just-
baby?
Take care of each other. We need it more now than ever.
Yeah.
Like, look out for each
Definitely.
other. Love will see you through anything if you trust it enough.
Communication is key. Be honest with your partners. That's the main thing.
Yeah. And then as far as like I'm trying to get my music going.
Yeah, as
so
far as self-promotion goes, he's Aeryn Savage on Facebook for anyone listening that wants to check him out.
and that's AERYN.
Yep. We'll link it in the show notes.
Cool.
But yeah, you'll be able to hear a lot of my singing on there, and we only post the good ones. So
that's how it works. That's what social media is all about. We just show them. We just show the best parts.
I do the editing and the picking of what goes on the Facebook. So
love it. Well, we're excited to check it out, and we'll send the links out.
Yeah.
all right,
absolutely.
thank you.
Lovely. Well, yeah, you two have a wonderful rest of your Friday afternoon. Listeners, sorry, it's Friday for us. It's only Wednesday for you, but hey, we're going to enjoy our weekend. So we hope everybody has a great week, and we hope you two have a great weekend.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Take care.
Bye.
And we're back. Thank you so much, Rowan and Aeryn, for coming on, reaching out to us, and then coming on and sharing your story. It was so wonderful to talk with you, and we can't wait to have you back and hear all that's happened since we last chatted.
Yeah, I'm so pumped for that. So thank you hugely. Thank you hugely from my side. Got my words mixed up, but you get the point. We loved chatting, and we're so grateful for your story and for just sharing the love that you all share. As a quick reminder, links to Aeryn's Facebook page where you can find all of his singing videos are posted in the show notes, along with photos of Rowan, Aeryn, and Jess, and all of Aeryn's incredible makeup artistry. So please go check it out.
We also wanted to remind all of you that if you're listening to this on October 1st or 2nd, 2025, you can come join us for our next community retreat in person, October 3rd to the 5th. It's this coming weekend in the San Francisco Bay Area. You can still come join us. If it's after that date and you're like, oh darn, I missed out, don't worry. We will have another in-person retreat coming up.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yes, a big one next year.
It's going to be amazing.
It is. More information coming really soon.
Very, very soon.
And in the meantime, you can always come over and join us all virtually too by going over to our website and clicking on the community tab. Our next monthly workshop for the community is coming up October 16th, 2025. That's going to be on personal agency with Nixie Knock.
And
Speaking of which,
next week is an interview with
Nixie.
Nixie's coming on the podcast next week to tell their story and talk a little bit about the workshop that's coming up. So please join us next week for that, and we will see you all then.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening.